more at unbeatable prices. I guarantee it. If it's repairs or lampshades you need, we have all that too. There's also unique sports and historical items, neon lights, slot machines, and much more for sale. You'll find fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Saturday and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue near Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
When you say Hasselus mattress is employee-free, you don't really mean it, right?
Of course we mean it. At Hasselus, give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy.
Why no employees?
To save you money.
How much money?
Well, others sell a Beauty Sleep by Beauty Rest Elm Cove B Queen mattress for $16.50, but the everyday Hasselus price is just $8.42. We have way low pricing on Serta Perfect Sleeper and Sealy Posturepedic too.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Plus, through Monday, purchase a select Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, or Serta Perfect Sleeper in any size, and Hasselus will give you a free adjustable base.
That's even better.
Free next day delivery, free removal and setup of your new mattress, and free financing is available too.
And this is all because your showrooms are employee-free?
Yes, sir.
I like the way you do business.
Open 9 to 9. Get all the details and find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com. Hasselus, employee-free since 2014.
Your trusted and relevant source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
10 o'clock, we have 44 degrees. It's going to be rainy today with a high of 47. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Connie Weber. Severe weather across the country will certainly affect holiday travel plans. CBS News correspondent Skylar Henry's at Hartsfield-Jackson International in Atlanta, the busiest airport of the world.
It is relatively busy here. Officials say that they anticipate more than 340,000 people to make their way to and through Hartsfield. That is a peak this holiday season. They regularly get somewhere around 285 to 286,000 people per day, but they said all throughout this stretch that they anticipated that today would by far be the busiest day this holiday season.
A U.S. official tells ABC News a Russian anti-aircraft system may be responsible for the plane crash in Kazakhstan. New evidence shows the Azerbaijan Airlines passenger plane may have been shot down by a Russian surface-to-air missile. ABC's Inez de la Cuerta says a commission is looking at the plane's black boxes, hoping to determine the cause of the crash.
To speak to a survivor, this man was a crew member. He has been transferred to the hospital in Baku. He says his arm was injured. He says they heard 3 thuds while they were flying over Grozny. He says that people on board actually were not panicking, but he does tell us that they're not being allowed to speak. So it was actually a very short conversation. He kept telling us that he had to get off the phone because there are people in the hospital right now telling him to get off the phone.
38 of the 67 on board were killed. A chase on Christmas Day in Fond du Lac.
The 36-year-old suspect was a wanted and previously convicted felon accused of physical abuse and threats against a female victim. Authorities responded to a domestic violence call around 8:30 a.m. Wednesday. They spotted the suspect's vehicle several hours later near Washington and Scott Street. Fond du Lac police initiated a chase. The suspect then crashed into 2 cars, then fled on foot. When police located him, he resisted arrest, and officers used force to bring him into custody. 3 bystanders suffered non-life-threatening injuries in the pursuit. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Cases of whooping cough or pertussis in the U.S., the highest in a decade. Wisconsin continues to see some of the worst numbers in the country, third behind only Pennsylvania and New York. In the state, there have been more than 2,300 cases this year. There were 51 last year. As of December 14th, the U.S. had logged more than 32,000 cases nationwide. 'Tis the season for returns. Director of Consumer Insights Kayla Schwartz tells WTMJ gift returns are at an all-time high this year.
Before we even hit December 26th, returns are up 36% over last year. So retailers have already been dealing with a lot of returns, and it's about to get even worse because the next couple of days are going to be the peak for returns for the entire season.
Waking up a billionaire tomorrow morning is a real possibility with tonight's Mega Millions jackpot sitting at $1.15 billion, the fifth largest grand prize in Mega Millions history, with a cash option of just over $516 million. Odds of winning all that cash are 1 in more than 302 million. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is down 427 points. NASDAQ is down 398. The S&P 500 is off 84. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 10:05.
Staggering inflation continues to affect so many families. Yet the Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford is more affordable than ever. It's a holiday Fish Fry Friday. It's all you can eat and just $7.99. Do not pay $16 or more. Your Mineshaft Fish Fry is $7.99. The Mineshaft is decorated with holiday lights, decorations, and Christmas characters. Your kids will love it, and the world-class game room. After a long week, relax with a cold brew, a delicious old-fashioned or glass of wine for a perfect fish fry. Desserts are buy one, get one free. Your Saturday steak dinner is under $20. The all-you-can-eat Sunday brunch under $18. The Mineshaft is in festive downtown Hartford with lots of seating. The low prices and holiday decorations will make you happy. They urge you to visit the Mineshaft today for the all-you-can-eat fish fry, just $7.99. Serving from 11 a.m. Arrive early. MineShaftRestaurant.com.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Nets pumped the brakes on a two-game losing streak after edging the Bucks 111-105 from Fiserv Forum. Chris Middleton led Milwaukee with 21 points. Brooke Lopez netted 20, hauled in 7 boards as the Bucks dropped back-to-back games and fell to 16-13. Team visits the Bulls tomorrow night. And the Packers face the Vikings in Minneapolis Sunday afternoon. Green Bay's already clinched a playoff berth, sits third in the NFC North at 11-4. Take a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. A new disabled vehicle. This is going to be blocking the right shoulder. I-41 south, almost 2 miles beyond the ramp from Holy Hill Road.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Rain likely today, a high of 47. It's going to be rainy overnight as well with a low 44. Slight chance of rain early tomorrow, warming up to 50. Slight chance of rain to the south on Sunday, mostly cloudy and 44. Mostly cloudy and 43 on Monday. And then a wintry mix possible on Tuesday, mostly cloudy, high 39. 43 in Madison, 41 in Green Bay, 45 now in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 10:08.
We like to do things by the numbers. We're all about commerce and community. Welcome to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs. In for Jeff Sherman, here's Pat Miller.
Now, to business, gentlemen. A huge thanks to Jeff for letting me take over the seat for a few days. It's great to talk with you again today. My name is Pat Miller. I'm the founder of the Small Business Owners Community. This is a group of small business owners that are working together to change the way that they grow their business. We're putting collaboration over competition. We are working with one another, and we are building a business that wins. If you want to learn more, smallbusinesscommunity.com. But today, we are talking about small business as a whole, because this show is all about commerce and community. And there's nothing that has commerce and community as an intersection like small business owners, the people in your life, or maybe even you, that are out there building your dream. Because let's be real, small businesses are dreams, not jobs. If I wanted a job, I would drive downtown to a big building down here and I would get a job. If you wanted a job, you could have more steady pay, guaranteed vacation, health care, and way less drama. Like the phrase that we throw around in small business is, I quit my 9-to-5 so I could work 24/7. Entrepreneurs, you know what I'm talking about, right? So we are building our small business dream, and we want you to come along with us on this show. Today's show, we're doing a 2024 year in review. What happened in the news? What happened with trends and new developments that are impacting small business? And then on Monday, I'm going to whip out the crystal ball, and we're going to look at 2025. And we're going to talk about what might happen. I've got some predictions in store and how things are going to change. But here's what I want. If you're a small business owner, one of us is on the air. Yeah, we made it. And if you're listening in, I want you to know that I'm doing the show just for you. So I want you to hit the talk and text line at 855-616-1620. 855-616-1620. Tell me that you're listening. Tell me about your business, and I may shout you out on the air. But today we're going to get through the 2024 trends and the year that was. And we're going to talk about 4 different things between now and the end of the show. And I definitely want your feedback and your questions, comments, and sarcastic remarks. And we do want to get through everything that happened. But I think it can be summarized in 4 things. What made 2024 unique? Inflation made 2024 unique. And inflation, in case you're not in the entrepreneurial space, inflation is more than meets the eye. It's not just, oh, inflation was high and prices went up and too bad. No. When you are building your own small business, it is way more of an impact than that. So we will talk through how it impacted small business owners and what they did to survive in 2024. We will also talk about the election. Now, how did the election impact small business? In a way that you probably didn't expect, or at least if you're not an entrepreneur, you never would have thought of. There were 2 big impacts on the election, or that the election caused on us, that had nothing to do with who won, which is the weird part of it all. We will also talk about AI. Now, we cannot do a 24-year in review and not talk about AI. In fact, AI was so big and so impactful, I got to spend 2 segments on AI. Because AI is not only what is it and what is it doing. We, because we are our own tech support, and we, because we are our own business, we now have to deploy it. We have to take it to the streets, and we need to save ourselves time and money using AI. It's a totally different way to look at it. So we're going to spend 2 segments on AI, one on what's going on, and one on how do we use AI, both of those things combined. And then the last segment, I want to talk about productivity. Productivity is having an awakening in the small business space. It's not just using AI to move faster, because that is happening. But there's a growing awareness inside the small business space of, hey, maybe I don't need a bunch of employees. I could use a bunch of contractors. Or, hey, maybe I could just do what I do best and delegate the rest. There are 2 great books I'm going to recommend for you. And we are also going to think about not only who does the work, but where the work gets done, because that is going to be something that really surfaces in 2025. A lot to cover on this edition of the Upswing. I'm Pat Miller, in for Jeff Sherman. We are back with inflation and how it impacted small business owners next.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Flyers with hate messages appearing in a Southside Milwaukee neighborhood. MPD is investigating.
Eric Billstad.
A new future for 2 museums on Milwaukee's east side.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
Road conditions are not great. Things are going to be really kind of covered, snow-covered, partially covered, and slick, especially those bridges and overpasses. Please be extra careful.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
When it comes to community involvement, Horicon Bank walks the walk. They're actively involved in nonprofit organizations like WIBIC, the Milwaukee Parks Foundation, and the Milwaukee Artist Resource Network. This holiday season, Horicon Bank team will be spreading goodwill, like their annual toy drive benefiting the Education Foundation of New Berlin. WTMJ's Jeff Sherman here for Horicon Bank. They've been doing banking differently since 1896. Together, doing good, that's their vision. Horicon Bank, the natural choice. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
1016 News Radio 620 WTMJ. This is the Upswing, hosted by Jeff Sherman. I'm Pat Miller, founder of the Small Business Owners Community, filling in while Jeff is off on vacation. If you're just tuning in, we're doing the 2024 Small Business Year in Review because the show's about community and commerce, and that means small business owners are right at the center. So, entrepreneurs, I definitely want to make sure that we are representing you. So I asked my SBOC community, what were the trends of the year? And inflation came back over and over and over. And if you're not an entrepreneur, it affected us in a way that maybe you didn't think about it. So in 24, we all knew that inflation was a thing because, well, we bought eggs and we went to the grocery store and, you know, it affected everything. But what you may not realize if you're not an entrepreneur is that small business owners don't have a board of directors. We don't have 500 employees. Oftentimes, and the majority of the time, it's an entrepreneur, you know, in their basement or at an office building their small business dream. So when inflation spiked, it had 3 big impacts on small business owners. The first one, and this is obvious, costs of goods and services went up. It became more expensive to create the products that we create and provide the services that we provide. Okay, fine. Why is that a big deal? Well, let's say that our prices went up 7 to 10% and we're running a business with a single-digit profit margin or maybe even 20% profit margin. That added expense had to come from somewhere. Oh, well, small business owner, suck it up, raise your prices like everybody else did. Okay, but when we do that, we're now leaning into customer spending power. And when everything is more expensive, and we have to raise our prices. We're not the only one raising our prices. We saw that in 2024. Everyone raised their prices. And where it got tough is when we were not an essential business. If our business could be perceived at all as a luxury, we got into hot water. So yeah, prices went up and we had to raise our prices to keep up and try and retain our profit margin, but everyone else was doing it the same and price became an issue. But here's where it really affected small business owners. I am a business. Many of you listening are a business. If you run a small business, you make money, you charge more than what it costs to make. And at the end of that period, whatever's left, that's what you get to take home. As I say all the time for small business owners, when you run your own thing, you eat what you kill. That's it. And if there's no money at the end of the month, well, you're leaning into the credit card. So when prices went up to make the stuff and we had to raise our prices and it became an issue with our clients, the margin is smaller, our checks became smaller, and for many of us, if we even got a check at all, and our spending power went down. So looking at it from the outside, oh, small business owners, prices went up, deal with it, raise your prices. Well, we did. And here's a curious thing that many of us observed, and this came straight from the small business owners community. They told me when the prices went up, the high-ticket customers stayed. They were able to charge the high-ticket rates to the high-ticket customers. That wasn't a big deal. And they did not lose the small customers. Now, isn't that weird? You would think if money became an issue, the little customers would go away first. No. The middle of the market went away. The people that could use you or not use you, those are the ones that left. So when you look at the whole of the year, people that were in the luxury sector, they were able to sell. People that did commodity, small ticket stuff, they were able to sell. The people in the middle, they felt their prices go up. They had to raise their rates to try and keep up. And then they got in trouble because their middle market customers started to choose not to use them, which meant less money to take home, which meant trouble. And I've talked with a bunch of small business owners that went out of business, which is not unusual, by the way. It's unfortunate, but not unusual. I mean, the 5-year survival rate for small business owners is only 50%. Did you know that? You knew that, right? Every small business is a coin flip to go out of business within the first 5 years. So this is a high wire tightrope game. And this is tough. And this is why people implore you to support small business, because it's really the American dream on hard mode. So inflation was the first big deal of 2024. The next big deal of 2024 is one of the other obvious ones. The election really affected small business owners, but not for the reason you may think. It didn't matter who won. We'll talk about the election and how it impacted small business owners coming up in a moment. 1021, 620, WTMJ.
He's going to fire up a three for the win, and he hit it! Game time has arrived! He has done it again! Cash Money Middleton to the rescue! Lobs to Giannis, who flushes it in. Lillard, three-pointer for the lead! It's game time! Giannis takes it down the lane. He'll lay it in with another foul. Oh, baby! The Greek freak is unleashed.
The sound of the Bucks is here on the home of the Bucks, 620 WTMJ.
By now you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semper Fi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you can win over $2,000 in free play every month, all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
The holiday season may be coming to a close, but there's still plenty of time to make it a magical one. Ring in the new year with something stunning and timeless from Diamonds Direct. Start the new year with a celebration of your love, or even a celebration of yourself. Whether you're shopping for the perfect wedding bands, a beautiful pair of diamond studs that were missing from under your tree, or the engagement ring of their dreams, Diamonds Direct has just what you're wishing for. This year, make your New Year's resolution to shop smarter by shopping direct. Making a decision on where to make your next jewelry purchase has never been easier. At Diamonds Direct, you're guaranteed to get an extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and the white glove service that we've long been known for. Let the experts at Diamonds Direct show you the difference in a concierge luxury shopping experience. Kick off the new year the way you've always wanted. Customize your experience in-store or online at diamondsdirect.com today. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
1024, 620 WTMJ. This is the Upswing presented by Horicon Bank. Jeff Sherman's show. I'm Pat Miller, founder of the Small Business Owners Community, and I just get to warm the seat for a few days while Jeff is hopefully on a lavish vacation. He'll be back with you on Tuesday. I'm here tomorrow, or today, and on Monday. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about the 2024 year in review for small business owners. We talked about inflation before. We're going to talk about AI in a minute. But this one was suggested by Brad Herda from Vision Forward Business Solutions. Thank you, Brad, for the suggestion. He wants to talk about the presidential election, and it really hung over all of us. But it didn't affect small business owners for the reason that you may think. Because you may think, oh, small business owners, they really wanted that person to win. I mean, that really isn't what drove the election's impact on small business. If we start here, just looking at it objectively, what a just bananas political cycle it was. Trump has this outsized impact. He swallowed the entire Republican Party whole. And Biden, remember, was the candidate until August when he ran out of gas and was swapped out for Kamala. So we changed candidates within a couple of months of the election, and Trump got shot. And then it was this mad dash to see who's going to win. So this was not a normal political cycle. Absolutely crazy. But on the ground, for a small business owner, it was not about Kamala's policy on Z and Trump's policy on Y. It had nothing really to do with that. When we went out and pitched our products and talked with our clients, especially the bigger clients, what we observed was a lot of indecision and uncertainty. And just to call it out, and those of you that played this card in 2024, I just got to say it. Fear. A lot of fear from the clients that we were pitching. Because we would go out and we would try and pitch something and tell me, entrepreneur, you heard this. Tell me you heard this because I heard this. You know, we should wait till after the election to decide. That had nothing to do with politics. That had everything to do with risk-taking, indecision, and fear. Because when the smoke came up the chimney and, oh, we've got a president, it didn't really change the people we were talking to. They just kind of used that as a delay tactic. They delayed making a decision. They used it as this indecision and fear thing, and it slowed everything down because that is the outcome. The people that slow walk decisions in 2024, they didn't lose anything based on who won the election. What they lost was, for some people, an entire year of moving their business forward. They lost the time that they could have been working on the product and making a better business. They wasted a ton of energy because I don't know about you, entrepreneur, but I can't really feel anything different right now based on who won the election. Other than, thank goodness, the political campaign commercials are off my television. Remember how bad that was? Oh, God, it was awful. And they also lost a lot of opportunity. So it wasn't just the time to make the business better. It was all of the sales or training the staff on the new product or building the new location or whatever the risk is that they didn't take because of the election. That's the time that was wasted, and that ends up being the impact. There's one other item around the election that doesn't have anything to do with who won or lost, but it did have an impact on entrepreneurs. And it was the overheated reaction that some people had when you shared with anyone who you were voting for. I mean, any whiff of support for either candidate had an absolute impact on what your fans, followers, and customers had to say. So if you ran out, waved your flag, and said, I'm for Kamala, or I stand with Trump, MAGA, whatever, many entrepreneurs were hit with very vocal critique, or they were given the absolute silent treatment where people unsubscribed from what they were doing and took them off of their consideration list. So what do you do about it? Here's what I think you should do about it. The smart people that I know didn't say a thing. They just didn't even address it. So my advice is, if you're going to make a political stand, good for you, but you need to understand the situation that you're in and the people that are around you. If you're in an area where people are pro one side or the other by the vast majority, cool, run for office with that. But if you're not sure, the best move is to do nothing and to say nothing. There's not much in it for you. We're talking about AI and how it impacted small business. We're going to do 2 segments of that coming up. Right now, it's 10:30, Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time. ABC News headlines are right now.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. Authorities in New York announced the indictment against Sebastian Zepeda. He's the man accused of setting a woman on fire on a subway car. Brooklyn District Attorney Eric Gonzalez says investigators are still working to identify the woman who was badly burned and believed to have been homeless.
We know that there's a family. Just because someone appears to have been living in the situation of homelessness does not mean that there's not going to be family devastated by, the tragic way she lost her life.
Canada's foreign minister and public safety minister are meeting with Trump transition officials today in Florida. President-elect has been suggesting Canada as the 51st state on social media. NASA's Parker Solar Probe is radioed back to Earth after entering the sun's atmosphere. It's expected to start sending data back on New Year's Day. And tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is worth an estimated $1.1 billion. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 10:31. I'm Connie Weber. More visitors set to arrive in Milwaukee via cruise ship. City approved $5 million in taxpayer money to help expand Port Milwaukee. It's part of a $17 million investment to accommodate larger Viking cruise ships with a new dock east of the Lake Express Ferry Terminal. A Port Milwaukee study says cruises generated more than $7 million in economic impact from 2022 through 24. Work on the new dock starts in 2025. It should be operational by the next year. 64-year-old man missing in Racine. Thursday, police issued a silver alert for 64-year-old Terry Whitaker, last seen between 12:30 and 1:30 Thursday afternoon near Montclair and Green in Racine. He was wearing a red T-shirt, pair of black jeans, tan shoes with blue stripes, and a large brown coat with a fur hood, carrying a pink and brown leopard print duffel bag. Anybody with his knowledge about his whereabouts should call Racine Police. City of Milwaukee wants your Christmas tree. The city's tree collection period runs now through January 31st. DPW says all ornaments need to be removed. Once picked up, the trees will be shredded and composted. To schedule a pickup, call the Department of Public Works and put your tree on the curb. Time for some news about your money. In the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update, the Dow is down 349 points, 42,976. The Nasdaq is down 331 at 19,688. S&P 500 is down 68 points at 5,969. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. A disabled vehicle. This one's going to be off right, blocking the shoulder. I-41 north at Mayfair Road. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Rain likely today and tonight, overnight. High today 47, overnight low 44. Just a slight chance of rain early tomorrow. It's going to be mild with a high up to 50. Slight chance of rain to the south on Sunday, a high 44. Cloudy and 43 on Monday. And a wintry mix possible, mostly to the south on Tuesday. Mostly cloudy with a high of 39. Right now, we're at 43 in Madison, 41 in Green Bay, and 45 in Milwaukee. I'm Connie Weber, Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 10:33.
We know what you're thinking, and all we can tell you is to drive careful.
Yep, Wisconsin roads are no joke this time of year, especially when you're driving on old, worn-out tires.
Schedule yourself a tire appointment with Richlands. We carry all sorts of tire brands, including Goodyear, Kelly, Continental, and General, to name a few.
And every tire we install automatically comes with free tire mounting, free lifetime tire rotation, free flat tire repairs, and free alignment inspections.
Not to mention free wheel corrosion cleaning, lifetime warranty spin balance, and prorated tire protection.
Let's just say if you're driving around town, especially this time of year on old, worn-out tires, you're due for tire service.
Courtney's right. And remember, be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you have good tread on your tires, because cold, wet, icy roads are no joke. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands, and you're due for service.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
We've saved our clients over $19 million in real estate commission. I say this because that's a pretty big number. But at Century 21 Benefit Realty, it's really not about being a top volume agency. Over here, it's more about you. And at 1.9% commission and no more than $19,000 commission, for the listing side of your sale, no matter what size property you're selling, you will save substantially. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
10:36, it's the Upswing presented by Horicon Bank, Jeff Sherman's program. My name is Pat Miller. Small business owners community is what I do for a living, and today we're doing a 2024 year in review for small business. Now, on Monday, I'm going to get out the crystal ball, and we're going to talk about 2025. We're going to look at what might happen and what should small business owners like you be paying attention to. So we'll definitely do that on Monday here on the program. And I want to hear from you. The talk and text line, 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. We're talking about the 24 trends and the year that was. And we can't talk about small business in 2024 without talking about AI. In fact, AI is such a big deal, we got to do 2 segments on it. The first segment is, well, what can I do with AI? And then the second segment is, what can it do effectively for me that's going to transform the business? It's 2 parts, because the first part is, what can AI do? And if you're not really up to speed on it, this was the year that AI dropped like a bomb. Generative AI like ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, they instantly became available for small business owners, and we began to use them. This was the year we really started mass adoption. And we're using it for drafting email, writing social media posts, reviewing a landing page, and also reading stuff. Now, if you're not doing this, this is a super big, giant hack that you should put like a quarter in the radio because I'm giving it to you. But you need to have ChatGPT and the others reading contracts and large documents. It does a great job of summarizing 10, 20, 40, 50-page documents into bite-sized pieces. The other thing that generative AI can do, and it's really, really good at this, it's really good at generating terrible art. Terrible art. People with 8 fingers, misspelled words left and right. It's really good at that. Generative AI kind of feels like right now, like the best drummer in 6th grade. You see a drummer in 6th grade, like, boy, that kid can play. And then you think, yeah, but he's still in 6th grade. Like, I could see that he's going to be really good someday, but you're a 6th grader. You're the best 6th grader at drumming. That's what it feels like right now. We see where it's going, but it's not there yet. But beyond what it can do, 2024 was the year that it popped up everywhere. It's now baked in onto your desktop with Microsoft Copilot. It's in your email with Google Gemini. It's on every screen that isn't tied down. Pop-Tarts, now with AI. Canva, our graphic design. QuickBooks has an AI agent. So there's this weird mixture for entrepreneurs of curiosity and dread. all of these tools are available. Which ones should I use, and how do I use them? And that's the real question. Just because AI can draft a newsletter doesn't mean it's worth reading. Just because it can give you social media posts for the next year doesn't mean that it'll be any good. Plus, we do have to say it still gets stuff wrong all the time. It's a faster horse, but it doesn't always go in the direction that I want it to go. You know, it's one of those deals. So 2024 was this year of experimentation and, for those of you that do it, frustration. You feel me, right? The frustration. I see what this can do, but I just can't get it to do it. Please, please. You're so smart. How are you so dumb? That was what AI felt like in 2024. Don't get me wrong. It is here to stay, and it's just going to get better every day. But in 2024, the trend around AI was, please do what you say you can do, because I haven't seen you do it yet. So what can we do, and what did we do with AI in 2024? There are some flickers of hope, and we'll talk about that in our 2024 Small Business Year in Review coming up in a moment. 1040, 620 WTMJ.
Founded by inventors, fueled by community, and focused on business. It's WTMJ's Jeff Sherman for Horicon Bank. They've been doing banking differently since 1896. Financing requests can be approved in days, not weeks, because your banker understands you and your business. Service and products go hand in hand. They provide top-notch products to meet your cash flow needs. And Horicon Bank gets the job done. Together, doing good. That's their vision, and they're committed to doing what it takes to help your business. Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice. Member FDIC.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
I haven't had anything to eat for days, and being hungry hurts.
Going without oil changes can destroy your engine, but it doesn't compare to the effect of going without food. That's why the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee is determined to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. Through March 1st, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 14 years, Adam has donated over $890,000, providing more than 2.6 million meals to people across southeast Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Train Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
You're right, and I'll agree. It does sound too good to be true. But offering you affordable treatment that alleviates pain, which really does work, that we've seen in most cases insurance paid for in full, is a definite reality. It's pain relief, really. And these are FDA-approved treatments. They're safe and proven to reduce inflammation and alleviate pain. Yeah, you'll have to get a couple of shots, and I know that can scare people. But the needle is extremely small. And after giving shots like this hundreds of thousands of times, you'll see we make it very easy. You're going to feel the relief that our powerful pain relief agents give you. They're pain relief drugs that solve pain problems. And the way I feel is that Rejuvenex should be the first stop for anyone living with pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. At $65 per joint, per injection, it's probably the most affordable pain relief option available that actually works. Rejuvenex Google reviews will tell you more.
620 WTMJ, you are with me. Hi, I'm Pat Miller, sitting in for Jeff Sherman here on the Upswing presented by Horicon Bank. Thank you for joining us on this holiday Friday. I was saying to a friend, this is kind of like the twilight zone of the year. These days don't really matter. Are we working? Are we not? Whatever. Going to go over to Tompkins and get some wings. That's all I know. We're doing the 24-year in review for small business, and I want to do part 2 of AI and how it impacted small business. Because it's not just what AI can do, it's how we started to use it. And maybe there's something in this segment that you can use as a tip or some advice. But what did we do with AI, even though it's an imperfect product? The first thing that small business owners did with AI, and something that I recommend, is we just moved faster. The speed that AI lets us run at is significant. And the first way is research and quick facts. Because have you noticed how terrible a Google search is now? Hey, I'd like to know X. You go to Google and the first responses are all sponsored content, SEO garbage. You go to ChatGPT and say, hey, I want to know X. It actually tells you X. It's crazy. The other thing that it does really well that helps us move faster is it gives us context. So we take the transcript of a meeting note, we throw it into GPT or whatever your AI friend of choice is, and you say, hey, review these meeting notes and share an overview of what happened. Give me an outline of everything that was said. It maybe extrapolate some action steps or anything that needs to happen from here. Boom, it's done, and it's done well. It's really one of the things that GPT and the other generative AI tools are pretty good at. So the one thing it does that's really good that we used it for in 24 was speed. The second thing is collaboration. Here is a great big headline. Writer's block is dead. It no longer exists. Not because generative AI is going to do the writing for you. No, it's just a collaborator. What I like to do with it is say, hey, I'm doing Jeff Sherman's show. I'm going to talk about this. What do you think some of the things are I should cover? And it will list out 4 or 5 or 8 or 10 things. And then you can take your creativity and you can take your context and add it. The other thing it does that helps us with collaboration is it reviews the stuff that you do. Help me simplify this. Help me make it more formal. Help me make it more personal. What am I missing? What would my target audience say? It's really good at that stuff. But when it comes to making you more money, the smart small business owners in 2024, they used AI to increase their deliverables. Now, this is so good. It's the sweet spot for what it can do right now. Because consumers aren't really aware, and frankly, they don't care, that you're using AI to give them more stuff. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you're using AI tools and you produce podcasts for a living. So when you produce a podcast, you take their audio and video and you clean it up and you put it out on the internet. Well, that's what you've been doing forever. But now with generative AI and all the AI-powered tools, you can take their podcasts and you can explode the value that goes to your client. So instead of just making it look pretty and sending it out to the world, with a few clicks and beeps and boops and AI tools, you can now make it look pretty and put it out on the internet. But you can also create podcast art and a theme song and a transcript and add chapters and short form video content. You can make them a newsletter based on their podcast. You can do all of that stuff with very minimal effort, which means more value to the client and you can raise your rates. You got that part right? Raising your rates. Hooray, money. This is the type of stuff that we're going to be able to do moving forward. And what will it look like in 2025? That's what we're talking about on Monday, a 2025 preview for small business owners. And AI is a huge piece of it. We're going to dig into that on Monday. I hope that you'll tune in. We've got one more segment on the 2024 year in review for small business owners. Productivity has changed in ways that AI is not involved. Yes, productivity changed because of AI, but how did it change otherwise? New awareness and a big trend you need to be aware of. We will cover it in just a few moments. 10:48. This is the Upswing. I'm Pat Miller in for Jeff Sherman on 620 WTMJ.
There are a lot of interesting people and traditions in Wisconsin. 1 hour of covering culture and creativity in our state is simply not enough. I'm Sandy Max of WTMJ's What's on Tap with the happy news that my show is now expanded to 2 hours. So please join me weeknights from 6 till 8 for updates on festivals, films, food, music, theater, and other ways we love to make the most of Wisconsin life. What's on Tap with Sandy Max weeknights now from 6 till 8 on WTMJ. And subscribe to the What's on Tap podcast to listen anytime you want.
So how do you underpromise and still get the job? We believe in our hearts we're going to do great work for you. We're just really careful about making unrealistic promises. At Semper Fi, we refuse to set the bar higher than we can jump. But be assured, that's the goal. To do all we can to jump as high as possible to try to exceed your expectations. We're looking to break records. That's how you win over customers, get really great referrals, and build a great business. When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Struggling with high cloud hosting costs and endless management headaches with your Microsoft Azure or AWS environment? Contact AmericanEagle.com for assessment and see how they can save you time and money.
Call quality for the signature service you deserve.
This is Anthony Zaneski with Quality. Because we are truly local and family owned, I think that lends to the trust you can have in our company. And that means when we put out a promotion like this, it's always going to be a deal that you can believe in. So here we go. When you buy an Armstrong heating and cooling system, we'll give you the choice of a legitimate $1,700 off or a free water heater. And with federal and state money helping you pay for the HVAC upgrade, that will make this deal even better. Now, the average life of a water heater is 6 to 9 years. Yours is probably past that or getting there. So before you walk into a flooded basement, you can take care of this and upgrade a big part of your home's inner workings and get a pretty good deal at the same time. So call Quality and get a free water heater when you upgrade your home's HVAC system.
Call quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality, now offering heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
In a recent study, over 1/3 of millionaires predicted their ability to feel financially secure in retirement is going to take a miracle. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe a plan, not a miracle, will help increase your retirement confidence. Our team of experts gets to work using leading-edge technology to build comprehensive plans covering investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. And Annex doesn't have products to push with hidden fees or commissions. There's too much of that already. Annex is a fee-only fiduciary. More planning, fewer miracles. Know the difference. AnnexWealth.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
10:52, News Radio 620 WTMJ. I'm Pat Miller, in for Jeff Sherman on the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank. We have done all day today a 2024 year in review for small business owners. On Monday, we're doing the 2025 prediction show. I'm going to go through everything that we're doing and what might change next year, so I hope you will join us. It's kind of a two-part show. We've talked about AI, we've talked about inflation, we've talked about the election, and I want to spend just a minute talking about some awareness and behavior changes that came in. Barbara B. from B Painted Face Painting and Barbara Fawcett from Money Masters and Kristen Adkins from Crash Design, they all gave me feedback out of the community about what they're doing differently and how they're looking at the world differently about how productivity is changing. Because it is. If you're an entrepreneur, to say it plainly, if you're an entrepreneur, especially if you're a solopreneur and you don't have a virtual assistant, you don't have a contractor on the team, you are putting your life on hard mode. Delegation and outsourcing to fractional helpers, even if they're not in the building with you, especially if they are wherever they are, getting stuff done for you at a rate that's less than what you charge, that is some of the leverage that we have right now as entrepreneurs. Contractors, virtual assistants, it's the hack of all hack. It's cheap, it's effective, And you absolutely have to do it. Like if you're sitting there right now, maybe doing a bunch of year-end stuff and stuff you don't feel like doing, and you're thinking, man, I wish I had some help. Yeah, there's help out there ready for you, and they charge less than what you do. Go find them immediately. There are 2 books that are required reading if you're an entrepreneur. There's really 3. We'll do 3. The first one is The E-Myth. The E-Myth is unbelievable. You got to read The E-Myth. On your first day being an entrepreneur, someone should just put that in your hand. It's a must read. But the other 2 that I was going to suggest about productivity, Who Not How by Dan Sullivan. Here's the entire book in a nutshell. I need to do a thing. How will I do this? It doesn't matter. Find a who to do it for you. And then the other required reading is Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. He spoke at our conference downtown in October. He was tremendous. It's all about how you are buying back your time so you can get more done as a small business owner. Read the books, get a VA, change the way the stuff in your business gets done. It's that important. The other big trend that we have to talk about, because if you're an employer especially, you know this to be true. The trend is the strain on in-person versus virtual work. Turns out, who knew that working in your PJs unsupervised at home was kind of nice? It is. It's kind of great. One survey showed 91% of employees don't want to come back to the office. And if you require them to do so, 73% will immediately start looking for another job. This is so prevalent, and it's so bad that some employers are using a return to work policy as an incentive to downsize the workforce. Oh, I don't want to fire anybody. Oh, you chose to leave, rather. But I just required you to come back to the office. I guess that's your choice. No, they wanted to downsize in the first place. So what is the small business effect? The small business effect is if you're trying to hire someone to work for you, you might be having a hard time finding the right person that actually wants to get up, put on real pants, get in their car, and come into the office. It is something that is absolutely prevalent, and it's on everyone's agenda right now. So the way we're working is changing because we're delegating more and more, and how we actually get the work done, that's something that's changing as well, because some people don't want to leave their house and come into work, and you know what? I can't blame them, because working out of the house is pretty darn amazing. Here's where we're going on Monday. I hope you enjoyed the 24-year in review, by the way. So thank you to everybody that sent a message to the talk and text line and for tuning in online. Where we're going on Monday, we're going to talk about 2025 small business predictions. What's coming next year? We will hit that on Monday at 10 a.m. This is The Upswing. I'm Pat Miller in for Jeff Sherman, 620 WTMJ.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
New Japanese restaurant 1033 Omakase opens in Walker's Point. The restaurant takes over a space inside of one of the Trio apartment buildings at 1033 South 1st Street. 2 downtown Cedarburg hotels have been sold. The Washington House Inn and Trader Guest House sold this month for $3.6 million, according to state real estate records. The 2 lodging facilities have a combined 34 rooms and house 2 retail storefronts. Fiserv Inc. is planning to acquire Toronto